Alright boys, this is a conclusion I came to on my own and on my own accord rather than somebody else's. So look, I'm going to finish up the benchmarks for the KINGPIN RTX 3090, and after serious thought and consideration, I'm still going to do my new build on the new case that you guys don't know yet, but I've decided that I don't want to keep the KINGPIN anymore. So I'm going to wrap this up with some benchmarks, pretty much put this up for sale because I don't care. You do get higher numbers when you're pulling like 680 watts or 520, like you can pull like a lot of power. It's cool, it's great, it's whatever. If you're one of those XOC guys, great, but I have to compromise ITX for XOC and I don't care enough. My whole thing of getting into ITX is if I could have something as small and portable and it's 10 FPS less, which it is, and I'd be lying if I cared if I wanted a 70-pound PC again. I don't. I was about to drop $300 on a power supply, like a 1500 watt. I don't care. You gotta do you, boys. You gotta do you. And I'm probably most likely just going back to the Founders Edition. I really love that card, really do. For ITX, half of the heat is blown directly out of the back of the case because, you know, half blower. The other half of the heat goes inside the case. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And in the future, I'll probably give an update on what I do. I don't know what I'll do, but hey, I'm just saying this is what I'm doing. If I regret it, it'll be an update as well. But right now, I've really come to the decision. This is recorded as of December 20th for Christmas for sure. And I don't know if I put up the 360 hertz video yet, but if I had to take the difference between a Founders Edition 3090 and a KINGPIN 3090, and the price difference, what I paid was about that, and a 360 hertz monitor and a Founders 90, I would take the 360 hertz monitor and a Founders 90 over just a singular KINGPIN. Now, if we wanted to really take this argument to a further level, you know, people would be like, well, I could buy a 1080p 24-inch 240 hertz IPS monitor, and I could buy a 1080p 1440p 240 hertz monitor and a 3080 Founders Edition, all for the price of a 3090, because if you get that for like 240 used, you get the other one for like 730, so let's just round it like 1,000, and then a Founders Edition is what, like 700, it's like 1,700. All right, my argument is invalid. Oof. You can get a Founders Edition 3080 and you can get a 1440p 240 hertz Alienware AW2721D, and it's still like a 90 Founders. But I love the 90 Founders cooler. It's just a little bit bigger, true 3-slot, 2 fans, and it's like only mod I want on it is give me Chromax Noctua fans. It's basically a Noctua heatsink, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I haven't done an ITX build with a 5950X and a 90FE yet. I actually have a For the Win 3 Ultra. I don't remember if I showed it in the video or not, but yeah, I had the unboxing. Yeah, so it's an okay card, man. The For the Win 3 Ultra is, dude, honestly, bro, I'm not recommending it till EVGA fixes that XOC BIOS. If you're using it stock, fine, man, but I'm not. No, the KINGPIN, I had similar issues. This is all about KINGPIN benchmarks, but you can use the classify tool and you can do things to modify it. I mean, that's what you do. I mean, this you literally play benchmark hero and you modify it for increased power draw, and you see what's the max 3090 can do. If I had a 1500 watt power supply, that's all I do. But I mean, the world is going to you know, resume, you know, motion, you know, and I'd like to move around again. So nah, man, I'm gonna run the benchmarks and I'll probably put it in LN2 mode and then run whatever I'm running and probably post some numbers. My Ryzen is underperforming. I believe it's because of my BIOS. I had another 5950X I tried it with. That 5950X performed worse than this one. That one would auto boost only like 4.8 or 4.9. It was garbage, and most of the cores were like 4.7. At least on this one, I get like a few cores, like a solid few of them going all to 5 gigahertz, so it's definitely better. This is all auto. I haven't even done PBO plus 200 megahertz scalar or whatever. There's bugs, bro. I can't even do 4000 megahertz memory returned it. Like, it's not worth it. You have to run your memory at like 3600, 1800 F clock and try to just get some timings. If anybody really cares, power draw wise, the noise the CPU fans make, nah, dude, Ryzen's way quieter than my Intel. Way quieter. Like, I don't hear it. But yeah, man, it's not worth to me to go ATX and big again. I don't care enough. I really don't. And then that defeats the purpose of my portable monitor. I'm not doing that again, man. Yeah, we're gonna record the rest of these benchmarks on the KINGPIN. All right. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the pump noise that you get from the KINGPIN. Just like any EVGA hybrid GPU, there's no way to control the pump. I have to open it and get an adapter, mini 4-pin PWM, then hook it up to a full-size PWM on my actual motherboard, and then control the pump, you know, through DC, lower it to 90%, maybe 80%, whatever. But I was hoping to get a 360 rad attached to this, you know, pay a little bit more than my Strix, and it'd be quieter. On full load, it is quieter. My temperatures are great. Obviously, I can dissipate a lot more heat now, but at idle, this is what I hear. So no, dude, I'm just letting you guys know, bro. I'm obviously people who actually buy this for what they buy it for. You're gonna put a block on it and everything, but anybody who's buying a 360 rad GPU, with an AIO kit hooked up to it, thinking, you got the quieter card. No, it's not. The Strix was quieter at idle, had proper fan stop. The Founders Edition has proper fan stop. Yeah, man. Look, you're buying this for max numbers. That's it, and max heat dissipation. If you really wanted proper numbers and you really wanted, like a good card, not doing no shunt mods or any garbage, dude, buy a block for this because this pump is terrible. So yeah, perspective, the pump on the Corsair AIO, that one's a H150 RGB Pro XT, so they use the coolant pumps on those, so it's cheaper, whatever. Dude, the pump noise on that one compared to this, it's like 3 times quieter. Like, it's crazy. I'm sensitive to that, but this, I would literally be lying. This is actually annoying. I'd rather deal with max load on air on a Strix or even back to the 90FE than this. So just putting that out there. It's not perfect. You're not paying 2.2K for perfect, but what you are paying for is a decent warranty. Actually, it's a good warranty, and you're paying for max overclock on, one of the best cards. Like, this thing was born and bred to be a stallion. Like, all it does is overclock. That's what it's for. And the heat dissipation is good. It's got another fan on the front as well. That's what it does. This is what it's meant for. But that's really it. I mean, if you can put a block on it, it's a great card. Anyway, we're gonna start these benchmarks. All right, I just want to get everything out there on like why I'm not keeping it. I'm gonna turn the flash on. All right, real quick, I apologize that the heater kept turning on, so it made noise. So obviously my quality is shit. We will see if I do a voiceover. If I don't, which I probably won't do because I want to just put it up, done. Yeah, like I said, it's a great card, man, but I'm just gonna run the numbers. We're just gonna wrap this up. So OLED screen, this fan will spin on its own. I'm gonna leave the fan profile to auto. If you're wondering where the radiator is, it's like literally right next to it. So let me just move this over so you see. Fans are connected. I'm using the stock rad fans, the EVGA fans, very like glossy, whatever. I ordered 3 NFA 12X25s. I won't be needing them because I don't plan on keeping this. Now, question is, will this be returned and gone before I get those other fans? Because those fans, they've been sold out forever, and I think they will literally be back in stock like December 29th. Anyway, man, all right, so let's just get this OLED screen properly positioned for you guys to see. Oh, that's good. Flash is right on it, so that should be a good angle. We're gonna start this up, boot this PC up, and wrap this up. Oh, I clicked the wrong power button. I did. Oof, you can't see it because of the flashes on it right there. Now you can see a little OLED. Did I put it on LN2 BIOS? I did not. Okay, we're gonna have to turn the PC off. Okay, I set it to the LN2 BIOS. Now, obviously you don't need LN2 to set it to the LN2 BIOS because I didn't contact Vince and actually get the 1000-watt BIOS. So stock, I believe the power limit is 450, and then overclock 480, and then I think LN2 is 520. I'm pretty sure OC is 480, and then LN2 is 520. I don't remember what stock is. Maybe it's 400 watts, like the Founders. That would make more sense. Stock, right? Real quick, just so everybody knows, this does not have the, I probably already said this, this doesn't have the issues that the For the Win 3 Ultra 90 has with the power fluctuation. When you actually adjust the voltage slider on this card, it actually works. Half the reason why I wanted this card was just so I have faith in EVGA, not ignoring everybody for 2 months, and people are posting how the 500-watt BIOS doesn't work, and people have to go to other people online who say that you got to do a PCIe shunt mod to get it to work. I mean, it's kind of crazy that I can flash the EVGA For the Win 3 Ultra 90 BIOS, XOC BIOS, onto an MSI Gaming X Trio 3090 and it works. It's pretty crazy that I can flash the EVGA 3090 For the Win 3 Ultra BIOS, the 500-watt XOC BIOS, onto a Strix 3090 and it just works. Oh, by the way, guys, you can actually flash the 520-watt KINGPIN BIOS, the LN2 BIOS, onto a 3090 Strix as well, and it just works. The only complaint I've heard about the Strix is the coil whine, really. The coil whine is probably just about as loud as a Founders Edition. Real quick, because I made that For the Win 3 clown lips, duck lips sound absolutely atrocious. I don't know how they have such great engineers and then they have like ugly designs. This is better. The 1080 Ti KINGPIN is nice. 2080 Ti, sure. But who in the world came up with the idea for red clown lips on the side of an $1,800 graphics card? I'm an adult and people are grown adults. Who in the world decided that there's red clown plastic plastic lips of a trim on the side of an $1,800 GPU. I mean, maybe you can go do that on the 1660 Super, which you buy for, I don't know, 8-year-old Fortnite children. Don't do that here. So the first GPU I ever saw that looked actually beautiful was the Strix 3080 Ti. I thought the shroud looked great and I wanted that card. I didn't care what it cost. I think it was like $1,200 because I had so much regret not buying the best card. You might as well just get whatever's good, sell it on later down the line, or, you know, whatever. But really, you can waste a lot of time speculating. Anyway, I have to put this on Do Not Disturb. I apologize. Notifications went off. That was not supposed to happen. Like I said, man, I'll wrap this up because I really do like the card, but I'm not gonna lie, okay? I got all of them. I tried everything, all right? So nobody can hit me with that BS saying, oh, you didn't buy this, you didn't do this, whatever. You get a 1500 watt power supply, you want the best, here you go. If you really care enough and you want it quieter, make your own loop. Get that Kingpin block that's coming out next year, like 2021, not 2020, and it's great, okay? It's fantastic. You don't want to do any PCIe shunt mods, whatever BS. Don't flash the 1000 watt BIOS, and you know, you can still have a warranty on this thing, you know, with all of the EVGA for the Win 3 Ultra hybrids literally popping, red ring just pop. I actually know a guy who's had his pop. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous. So we got power limit issues, voltage slider doesn't work on the For the Win 3 Ultra 3090, costs $1,800. I have one, all right? I can go get it from the other room. And then the For the Win 3 Ultra hybrid, people sign up for notifications, finally get one, and it pops. I know a guy who's bought EVGA cards every generation, 4 generations, and that's what happened. Yeah, sure, maybe issues at launch, whatever, dude. I don't care, all right? You don't pay that much money and then get issues, all right? I can go buy a 1660 Super or 1070 off Craigslist right now for $100-200 and have no issues. That thing isn't even as much as the fans I bought. Like, I know a guy who sold me a 1080 blower, like the Founders Edition 1080 for $100. If I can get him a newer GPU so he can upgrade to, you know, no BS, whatever, man. I'm ranting a lot, but things cost more money and it's understandable. But when you pay more money for something, it has to be worth. When I tell people that there's a 48-inch OLED and I love it, what other option is there? If they make a 32-inch 4K OLED monitor, it's going to be $2,500. There's no way on earth they're going to charge $1,000. Getting that Vizio 55-inch OLED for Black Friday for $899 with HDMI 2.1, absolute steal. Who the hell even cares about the warranty and the burn-in on that? You're not going to burn it in, you'll be fine. And by the time it breaks or dies or burns in, micro LED will finally be a thing. So just skip all the mini LED garbage that Samsung's going to be coming out with. Same thing goes with these monitors. You pay so much money and they don't even have HDMI 2.1 for consoles. Like, and people will say, okay, I bought a 3090 Kingpin, clearly, you know, not to play console. Yeah, that's great, man. You're still using DisplayPort 1.4 and you have to use DSC and you have to use display stream compression, literally, to get the max out of your card. Oh, but you don't see the compression. You can keep that garbage to yourself. Why do I have to use compression? Why can't I just get another HDMI 2.1 port? It's straight BS. So if you're paying like a lot of money, man, you should be able to be like getting the best. If you're paying a lot of money and there's too much compromise, then it's not worth it. To me, 80 to a 90, that isn't justifiable to a lot of people. To me, look, man, I had a lot of regret in my 2080. I'm happy with 90 FE. Maybe an 80 Ti comes out. Rumors say announcement January 12th. Everything looks like it's lining up that January 11th, you know, and then January 12th. Looks like we're getting a lot more stock, even if they do 30 super refresh. Look, this is just my prediction, all right? This is speculation. If I'm wrong, God knows when I'll upload this. If I'm wrong, man. I don't really care. So there's 82 SMs on a 3090. The full Ampere die has 84 SMs. Now that's probably what you're gonna get on like a Titan, right? But will you get it on like a 3090 Super? Who knows? Why would they even add 2 SMs? Will it make a difference? Who knows? It's not the difference between a 3080 and 3090 in terms of SM. So the other thing is maybe, you know, they refreshed the architecture a little bit. You know, maybe they figure out, you know, there was something wrong. You know, maybe we can deal with this power spike issues, or, you know, you've seen the Igor's lab post showing how Ampere has power spikes much higher, and then RDNA 2 was hyped up like it was going to be so efficient. TSMC 7nm EUV. If Ampere was on TSMC 7nm EUV, like what RDNA 2 is, yeah, a joke. It'd be Pascal all over again. So I plan on selling my 90 and getting a 6900 XT and doing like a max overclock on that with like a block with like 3 gigahertz. I was praying that that thing would be such a rasterization monster that it didn't matter that it didn't have, you know, the power of AI and DLSS to compensate. NVIDIA needed to use AI magic, you know, to keep up with essentially a rasterization monster. But that turned out not to be true. And it turned out that literally GDDR6 and Infinity Cache, this is all we can scale. Who knows? Maybe there's a RTX RTX 30 series Super refresh, and maybe there's RDNA 2 with HBM 2 a refresh, and then that card actually scales, you know, because it has more memory bandwidth. Who knows? You know, if that's true, you know, you can get like 20% more performance. Yeah, now we're talking real cards, you know. But no, I'm not doing this 900 watt for more performance thing and compromising my ITX portable build. Look, I'm gonna be moving around, even if I'm not going around because of like, you know, cough. I don't want to compromise my build. For people with like 5 rads or whatever, you know, you can do that. I'm just, look, this is my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. If you don't like it, look, man, you could say whatever. It's fine. It's totally understandable. But I'm just saying, for my specific situation, if I can get a 3090, a 5950X, if I can get like top end computer components down to the smallest portable form factor that I can without doing heavy undervolts and compromising. I don't really believe in these undervolts, mainly because whenever I'll boot, I'll have these issues and it doesn't apply my settings at start. But overclock, I have no issues. I have no idea why it does this, and I've reinstalled Windows and it's the same thing. But a lot of people started to have a lot of issues with undervolts and synthetic benchmarks, you know, 3D Mark or whatever you're running. It's fine, you know. Maybe Heaven's unique Heaven's engine benchmark, Heaven, yeah, that one with the dragon, yeah, that one runs fine. You can have a decent undervolt in it, but then you start playing games with ray tracing, DLSS, and all of a sudden your undervolt's all wonky and doesn't work properly. And it's just like I didn't do all this to have instability. Like, no, like, I like tweaking things, but I'm not gonna, you know, keep tweaking. Like, at a certain point, it just has to work, right? Like, this is a big reason why people never go from iOS to Android, and it took Android a really long time to get to the point where it is today. It's polished, and you have a lot more capability to do things on there. A big thing Android really needs is a proper backup and restore system. I mean, with an iPhone, dude, ever since like 2008, I think I got one, or 2007, whatever the first one was, you got it, you used it, right? They put an iPod and a phone together, blew people's minds. They added an app store, blew people's minds. And then afterwards, you know, if you wanted an iPhone 3G, you literally just backed it up on iTunes, got the new one, and it restored the backup, and then that was it. There was a new phone that was revealed at a keynote, and it was twice as fast, better camera, twice as fast, twice the battery life, twice picture quality, the screen, twice the PPI. Like, it was always like 2x jumps, just like CPUs back in like early 2000s. Literally, your PC was garbage after 5 years, not like basically a decade. If you had an i7 from 2012 till now, if you were just, you know, not playing games or whatever, even if you were playing games, like, it lasted so long. That's why everybody's so hype about Ryzen and stuff. You should have saw how happy my friends were when the 5950X released. No, my bad, not the 5950X, 3950X. Just like, whoa, we can get 16 cores, 32 threads, that's amazing. Yeah, no, somebody's gonna go, well, that doesn't scale, man. You know, you rather have 8 faster cores, you know, that work better in games than 16 cores, you know, that don't. But it's taken a while, but we're finally getting there. So that's really nice. Obviously, you know, PCs are used for many other things besides just playing games, but that's the only thing you care about. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's what it comes down to, right? So yeah, dude, I was talking for a while. All right, we're really gonna do these benchmarks, and just super conflicted because I have to be sure in what I decide to do, because getting these cards are practically impossible. If I get rid of them, they're gone. So I have to be sure. There's no second guessing. You just commit. Full senders. We are full senders. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm probably most likely going to leave all of this in the actual video, and then anybody can comment whatever. If you really don't like it, it's fine too, man. It's perfectly fine. My friends will understand, and people who are going to spend money will understand. And if you're aiming for max XOC, it's fine, get it. But if actually, I was referring to everything I was talking about. I'm not even talking about the card anymore. There's nothing wrong with this card, so let's just clarify. To make this card perfect, if I could have pump control, that'd be great. That's it. If I was still rocking an 011 Dynamic XL and I was doing the ATX build with my like Platinum 2 power supply, yeah, dude, this is the card. I'm not doing anything. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm done. But I'm not. And I don't know, is it really that difficult for them to add pump control to a GPU? Like, do I really have to open it, just add variable pump control? Like, somebody really gonna kill the card because they didn't have the pump at the right setting? I don't think people are that stupid, but maybe you have to make things foolproof because people are stupid, and you end up with unnecessary RMAs for no reason. So I guess it is what it is, right? But if that's how things are gonna be, look, you're gonna have to water block if you really want a quiet build. Now, I don't know personally, because I haven't
built my own loop, just mainly just go to a friend's house or whatever. D5 pumps, man, they're powerful and they're quiet. Like, it's crazy. Little tiny pumps like in the Asetek AIOs. I mean, those things, their flow rate is like, they don't move anything. I mean, it's good for a single rad and you're never gonna do any maintenance or anything, right? But for a custom loop, like, it's really crazy. Like, there's so much to learn. There's so many things. All right, I'm gonna do timestamps for all of this, and you can just go to the beginning and the end and look at like benchmark numbers. Just gonna say right off the bat, I am having BIOS boost clock issues on Ryzen. I've been spending literally like 2 months I haven't uploaded trying to fix this, and like the boost clock for the CPU is fine, but I don't understand why I'm having memory latency being too high, and then I'm just not getting the numbers that I should be getting in Cinebench. I can't hit 640 in single core. My friend, like, I only hit 600. My friend is having better numbers. He's like, just buy 3200 megahertz CL14. I know, what's his name? Optimum Tech, he has ITX PC builds as well, and he was having similar issues. You know, he had a B550 Strix, he had a Strix X570, and then eventually the issues went away for him apparently on the Asus Crosshair Impact DTX board. And I'm not building a case with a DTX board where it's supported. So yeah, I'm glad, you know, he was able to escape the absolute hell that is PCIe Gen 4.0 riser cables, because they're all booty. They all have some form of a flaw. Something is wrong with them. The link up cable, it performs worse at 4.0 versus 3.0. But hey man, I literally bought it only for one reason, because it can do when you update the BIOS or when you install a new GPU. I'm not going to be installing new GPUs unless they actually come out with a 3090 Super. Basically, there's no iGPU on Ryzen, right? So when you try to do a BIOS update, it will reset all of your settings. When it resets your settings, if you have a Gen 3 riser cable, yeah, there isn't any performance hit, but the hit is I built this tiny ITX case with a riser cable, and I'm using a Gen 4 motherboard with a Gen 3 riser with a Gen 4 GPU, and now I can't access the settings. It can't post because I don't have a Gen 4 riser. So I literally have to take it out, hook up that GPU to the motherboard directly to the PCIe slot. Depending on your case, can you do it or not? And then you got to do it all over again. You got to change PCIe X16 slot from Gen 4 or automatic actually to Gen 3. I'm not doing that every time. You're crazy. Like, I'm not doing that. So I bought a Gen 4 riser cable. Even if it performs 3% less, I don't care. I'm not doing that. So I got another Gen 4 riser cable. I'll probably compare those two when I do that build, except everything's gotten delayed so much. I ordered like 2 cases. I'm still waiting on them, and everything honestly just keeps getting delayed more and more. So it's pretty similar to how long it took me to get those silent alpacas. I finally got them, and I even got cables for the raise, and I haven't lubed the switches. I have the station. I have everything really. I can properly do that now, but just been busy, and I should probably wrap things up and get this build done. So I was really going through all the components. What do I like? What do I want to upgrade? Like, I have a Corsair SF750 watt platinum like a SFX. Obviously I'm going to, you know, upgrade that, and obviously I'm not running just this GPU off that. I'm not retarded. And a 5950X. I have another power supply just for the GPU. So that's fine. The GPU is fine. So that will be upgraded to the SF 850 watt whenever that comes out. And then, yeah, there will be timestamps. I promise. We're going to do the benchmarks now in this PC. I have a little fan for the motherboard VRMs and my M.2 to help keep them cool, and then some of the airflow blasts onto my RAM. I'll show it later. So I basically put EK water block RAM modules, a little aluminum heat sinks, whatever, onto my RAM sticks. So probably show that too. So this will be similar to whatever I do before. I leave the GPU running, and stock fan curve, I will say if I increased it to maximum, you can see the number, so I don't have to do some editing. We're just gonna put it like that, so no flash. You can see it. Not like it's not possible you can't see it. And yeah, we're gonna get this done. PC is posting. I'll probably run through like all the 3D marks: TimeSpy, TimeSpy Extreme, and Port Royale, and probably Firestrike Ultra, and honestly probably MSI Combustor, and then probably mark all of the resolutions: 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. And I will run probably Assassin's Creed Valhalla benchmark. So I've just named a few synthetics. Honestly, dude, I could probably run, what is it called again? Unique Heavens Engine benchmark. Yeah, I'll run that one too. I mean, we could really go into this. You know, I could do superposition. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, we all know how this performs. There's gonna be somebody else who uploads it. There's somebody else who's gonna have higher numbers. I'm probably not going to beat Gamers Nexus's numbers or anything, but I got it to, you know, I wanted to see what I could do, and it's just a hobby. It's fun. All right, we're going to get this done. whatever you want. Like, when I buy it, you can just do like a little bit more. But think about it like this. If you bought a Kingpin for $200 more than it's good, if I'm doing a box for solution, if I really wanted to keep this card within my year, is get a block and then just put it in any group I want. It's cool. I added my TimeSpy and TimeSpy Extreme scores so you can see it. That's with the 5950X and 3600 megahertz memory, 1:1, and Kingpin 3090. Hey, back. This is pretty much it, man. That's the Kingpin, and it can really actually like dissipate like 600 watts of heat. It's legit. It's pretty awesome. And if you want the max overclocker, you don't want to do any mods, out of the box, dude, for $100 more than a Strix, if you use an EVGA Associate code, I mean, they're free online, somebody's going to hook you up with one. You can't buy one. You can't buy a Kingpin unless you are an elite member. So yeah, man, thanks. That's pretty much it. That's all, folks. And if you want the card, get it. I'm going back to ITX, and that's pretty much it. Peace. Oh, peace. Don't worry, I didn't touch the fan. I just went like this. And then my nail was like, touched the plastic, and I scared myself there. See, there's no scratch. Don't worry, it's okay. The card is safe.